you made it all this way.
He trembles and seems to shudder with a quiet sob.
I'm cursed, you know. Bloody Brachus bound me here to protect his vault. He has my soul in that jar just there, and I can't leave without it. As long as the jar stays unbroken, I can never truly die. Really? You would?
He drops to his knees before you and grabs onto your feet with both hands, head hanging.
Thank you.
The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of vandalism. As you take in its chiseled details, you have a vision. The statue comes to life and embraces you awkwardly with its broken arms. Unable to resist, suddenly you hear a booming voice, disorienting you. Its urgency echoes within your mind as it compels you. Seek a shrine. Seek me. Amid the soundless air of this alien world, a phantom-like figure awaits you. She too is a lizard, as you can tell, but there are telltale details in her features that conjure memories of incense and mantras. The onyx eyes, three-layered crown, and feathered shoulders. You recognize her from the statues that stand tall in desert sands. She is the goddess Zol Stissa, greatest of the seven.
Red Prince, welcome be. May your words command the rivers. May your hands direct the winds. Fire of sun and rock of earth. May they serve you like faithful slaves. Red Prince, it is an honor.
To your surprise, the goddess sinks to her knees and bows before you in reverence.
Modesty? It doesn't quite become you.
She rises and considers you with deep-set admiration, like one would a work of art.
Red Prince, God-child, truest ruby of all realms. Tell me, do you know why you are red? That is what they said, wasn't it? He who rises from the sheets with demons must... But I think there is another reason for your brightness. You are red, Red Prince, because all of you, you are carnage, and you are concord. The Lord of War and Lord of Wisdom. You are lust, and you are love. You are passion personified. That is why I saved you from the all-consuming sea. Why I soothed your lungs with my breath and placed you gently on the nearest shore. Red Prince, you are greater than all others, for you are the sum of all others. You are the Father, the life shaper made manifest in a man. I would see that man a god. And take it you must, for I am a goddess no longer, robbed of my powers by the usurping divine. We, the Seven, are gathered here in these horrid halls of echoes, dead spirits vying for rebirth. But none of us will be the one of our children instead, a god woken like you. I have chosen you. You are to be my champion. Those days are over. Only one can don his head with stars and wield the sources of infinity. A great battle is being waged. It is the twilight of the Seven and the day to dawn of the One. The powers of all divinity must unite, and they must unite in you, the paragon of lizards. Our kind must rule this world, and none other. None of the primordial slime that made it onto two legs by nature's oversight. Take up the mantle, Red Prince, and all will be well. All will...
As she speaks these last four words, The outline of the goddess shimmers, shakes, then transfigures into an all too familiar shape. She stands before you in the guise of her, the woman you've been dreaming of for as long as you can remember. She is unparalleled beauty, and her skin's as red as yours. Yes, here she stands, your deepest secret, your deepest desire. She whom you've longed for since your soul slipped into consciousness, and you lock eyes with her.
You think her but a mirage, ephemeral as smoke. But you know better, don't you? Know with all your soul. I could drop a stone into the well of your heart, and it would take the span of a sun's life for the little traveler to hit bottom. Such is the depth of your... It is a good thing for the Life Shaper to possess such affection. For she, too, your secret love, has her part to play in downfall and now of divinity, let me give you a taste.
She steps close, puts her hand on your chest, and leans in.
Kiss me, my prince, for I am her. Kiss me, for I am your one true love.
The kiss is long and sweet as rosewater. As it endures, you can feel a whole new power invade and expand your spirit.
There.
It is Zolstissa who is withdrawn from you, in her own godly guise once more.
No. Find your true love, and forget my kiss. Remember only the Cherish this purest of pearls I have given you. A droplet of untainted source, and a promise of things. I blessed the very water beneath your feet. Now you may wield that power for yourself. So take it with you, back to our beautiful world. There use it to make that world yours. Before I let you go, though, there is one more matter we must touch upon. You are traveling with company, yes? No, not friends. Rivals. They are god-woken too, and may be courted by the lesser six. But you will be a god, none other. Smile at your fellow wanderers, but ready your knife, for its time will... Oh, and Losa? Lovely little Losa? Just kill her now, and be done with it. So, now we must part. With fire in your soul, and we'll meet again, Red Prince. Always will I...
The goddess steps back and waves, the warmth of her lips still lingering on yours. Then, sudden light and lightning, and you... The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of vandalism. As you take in its chiseled...
That shrine seems to have brought me here. What is this place?
You walk towards the figure on the dais, but wisps of mist start to cloud your vision. With each step, the mist gets thicker, hiding the figure from sight.
Thane? Thane!
You push through the fog, chasing the voice at breakneck speed. You trip and start to fall, but catch yourself against... a bookcase? You look around in shock as the mist clears. You are standing in a library. Your library. You hear a cough behind you and turn to see your assistant, Harina. She hands you a thick book, Observations on the Universal Veil. You look at her in confusion as she explains, "You asked me to bring you your research, Master Fane, for your guest." As you walk through the library, Harina expresses her condolences. It is a shame that the king forbade further investigation into the veil. It was a fascinating topic. She leads you to a door, your study, and pushes it open to introduce your visitor. You step through the door and see the Lady Amadia, one of the 7 lords. You turn, but your assistant is gone. The door is closed. You are alone with this unexpected visit.
I must say, you created quite a stir earlier, dear Fane. The other lords and I were quite impressed with your research. We believe the king's decree that you should not investigate the veil was misguided. We would like to view more of your and I see you have already brought me some reading material. Kindly give it here, my boy.
She thanks you with a smile and thumbs through the pages, engrossed by your work.
Yes, quite fascinating. A barrier of pure source. Do you truly think this veil is the key to unlocking a new future? Yes, so we gathered. We found it strange that the king would refuse you the chance to explore something that could be so beneficial to our people. But perhaps there are still paths we can walk.
There is a crash of timber behind you, and you can feel hands grabbing you. You are dragged backwards as Amadia screams. The screams fade to nothing, as does the scene before you. You're standing on the cold, glowing stones once more, with Lady Amadia before you.
Thane, darling Thane. If you were not who you claimed, it could have been a disaster. Peace, my child. You will have your answers, but I may only give one at a time. First, you must understand the madness the king unleashed on the world. We know why the king forbade your research. He already knew about the Veil, Thane. He was draining its power, leeching from it to build up his own strength. When we confronted him about this betrayal, he used his power to try and subdue us, to turn us to slaves. He wasn't satisfied with our fealty. He wanted total control. His madness for power knew no limit. We fought, of course. The king scorched our land, but by uniting, we overcame his evil. He was banished beyond the Veil he had tried to subvert, but our victory was hollow. Our people, oh my, they were erased, destroyed utterly. We seven were all that remained. I fear that it is. But you must steel yourself. The fight is not yet. For centuries, the king has been searching for a way back into our world. And beyond the Veil, he found the force that could help him do it. The Void. The moment we discovered the Void, we understood the Veil was created to hold it at bay by powers even more ancient than us. But thanks to the king, that evil has been seeping through the cracks. We have contained both ever since, but now, alas, they are winning. I fear we are no longer united. I fear, well...
Amadia turns and gestures to the scene behind her. Down below, you can see the 6 other gods fighting, clawing at each other, everyone desperately trying to get the upper hand.
Over the centuries, the drip of void into this world corrupted the others while they played with their mortal races. I fear it is too late for them, for us. But you, Thane, you have been untouched by it all. The world needs a power to protect it, and you are the key, Thane. But you have fallen so far. You will feel whole once again, child. You have my word. I will guide you. But first, you must return to the world and escape that. But you will return more powerful. As your first step towards righting the wrongs of this world, I grant you my blessing and give you the ability to bless...
Amadia stretches her hand out, and you feel a warm glow spread through your bones. You feel a sensation that you have not felt in a very, very long time.
You may have noticed I have tried to help you on your journey. That I can bless the very water beneath your feet. Now you have that power for yourself. And this is only the beginning. More and greater powers await you, If only you will seek them, and seek them you must. But before you begin, a word of warning. I gather that you travel with a pack of these lesser creatures. It is only natural after so long spent alone, but you must be wary. Some of these creatures are more dangerous than they seem. They are God-woken, the chosen champions of the other. And then there is the one you know as Losa. She is something else. Something wicked. You must, for they will all walk the same path as you, but they cannot be allowed to reach its end. You must be the one. Only one of our people can wield this power.
She lays her hand on your skull, and you see it clearly. The others, the gods, Amadia, and you. You are her chosen.
So go forth into the world with my blessing, dear one.
The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of... The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't tell if this was meant to be symbolic somehow, or a mere act of vandalism. The deity's head and hands are missing, severed as if by a sword. You can't...
Wisht, bonny bairn, now don't you cry.
Hold up. I've got to take care of some business. Friend, how does life find you?
Well, I'll be. If it ain't the beast of the sea. Stories of your
Ain't I know it, ain't I know it.
Beast claps him on the back and chuckles heartily.
Loha. Yeah, I know of the guy. From
Sounds like...
It's Duggan, it is.
Sure thing.
Bet you're glad to be rid of it.
Beast chortles and nods.
Please, our Master, bless and protect your humble servant. Smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth,
Wished,
Please
bonny
come
bairn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wished, bonny bairn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
Smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wished, bonny bairn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
Smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wished, bonny bairn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep.
Maybe we should fortify this place. Make a stand.
The seven watch o'er us, you're safe
No,
in bed.
no, we don't have the time.
So close your sweet eyes
Think, damn it.
and rest your wee head.
Gareth would know what to do.
Smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes and rest your wee head.
Please, Amar, bless and protect your humble servant. Smoke and screams, echoes of death. Gareth, please come back.
Wisht, bonny barn, now don't you cry. The birds are asleep, the moon's in the sky. The seven watch o'er us, you're safe in bed. So close your sweet eyes.